Hey everybody, how's it going? So today I want to talk about my March progress of 2019 for dividend income and YouTube income. Relatively good month, but I thought it would be a little bit better. I think what ended up happening is I sold off a portion of my stocks, Realty Income Corp. Some of you guys might know that I sold a cover call on that, so I ended up having to sell about 200 shares. That gives me a decent amount of income for the month. I think on the order of like 50 or almost $60 a month. So almost came in a little bit less than I expected, but overall it's still really good. So total portfolio value is $295,000, of which about $109,000 is in my 401k. And if you guys are familiar with what we go through on the channel, what we talk about generally is the dividends that are coming from my non-401k assets. So this $186,000. The reason why is because my 401k assets are a little bit less easy to calculate what the dividend income is coming from that. In actuality, it doesn't ever really display what I get on a monthly basis, whereas the stocks and sectors that you see here are able to be very easily converted into numbers that I can display for you guys. The portfolio in terms of cash is way up, so let me scroll over here to my fancy pie charts here for you. But you can see that cash is generally getting very large in terms of where we're at. So about 18% of my portfolio is in cash at the moment. And why is that a very small percentage? Oh, whoops. Anyway, so I accidentally switched these two values here, but so let me just do this really quick on the fly. Another thing that I did for you guys was I added my Fundrise account, which I hadn't in the past. It's very small, about $1,000 or so, but wanted to incorporate that as well because you get about 4% of that, so it's about $40. So every dollar really counts when you're trying to reach for some of these goals. But like I mentioned, cash is somewhat getting very large. It's almost a fifth of my portfolio at this point. Some of it's in my 401, or some of it's in my Roth. Some of it's moved due to that big Realty Income Corp position that I sold. And at the moment, I'm not exactly sure how to redistribute that cash. Realty Income Corp really skyrocketed in price, which is why I ended up selling. And currently, at the moment, I have it sitting mostly in a personal savings account under Amex. And so even though it's about 20% of the portfolio in terms of total weight, get about 10% of income. So the reason why being I have it in a Amex personal savings account, which you get about 2.1%, which is pretty good. Most savings accounts don't get you nearly that much. They're very good about raising this with the federal funds rate. So if the federal funds rate end up going to about 3%, I expect this to be in the high 2s in terms of percentage. So it's almost like having a CD in terms of the APY that you're getting, annual percentage yield that you're getting, but you're able to move it whenever you want. So kind of put it in there for the time being. So that's really the really big update. Everything else is relatively in line. Real estate and everything like that is somewhat coming in line. Energy is still the largest holding, as you guys may remember. But very excited that it didn't seem like too long ago that this number was at 275, and much before that it was about 250 in terms of the total portfolio value. So getting close to 300,000, and if you include some of my checking and some of the cash that I have in my wallet, maybe you could get to 300,000, but it'll be a couple videos maybe until that happens. So let's actually talk about the dividends I received. So the reason why I kind of foreshadowed that I was a little upset is I was really anticipating getting to about $1,000 for the total month, and I only ended up at $908. So if you include that with my YouTube income, it's over $1,000 for the month, which is absolutely phenomenal. I think it's the best one that I've had on the channel so far. But I was really hoping this to get to about $970, $980, and I think with some sales, I didn't end up getting there, and maybe a dividend cut as well, I didn't end up getting there. So over the course of a couple months, it kind of went down. I was really expecting it to $1,000, but it is what it is, and nothing to really scoff at. $900 that I got just having my money invested in some of these companies. So walking through them, my individual brokerage account, you have the Wells Fargo, BP, Realty Income Corp, which is dropped pretty drastically for about $47 last month to about $2, and that's just because I sold 200 shares. Phillips 66, Pepsi, Royal Dutch Shell, Stag Industrial, which is where I'm contemplating potentially putting some of this extra funds that I got sold, and then Maine, as well as some of the cash that I kind of just have sitting in my individual brokerage account. Then in my Roth IRA, I have about $6,000 sitting there, just the contributions that I put for the year. BHP ended up paying me. It's almost $300 in terms of total dividends that I've gotten this year from BHP. Actually almost $400. So in January, they paid a special dividend, about $258 to me, plus the $150 almost that you have here. It's almost $40. Oh, it's actually over $400 this year so far. So I'm expecting the other dividend payment to get me close to $600 or maybe a little bit less in September timeframe. So very good for that. My YouTube Moolah account, this is the money I get from investing the money that I get from YouTube. So far so good, $4.76 for the month, of which mostly investing in IVV, which is a iShares S&P 500 no commission fund for me, which is great. Exxon paid me for my computer shares account, Aqua America, IBM, some more Realty Income Corp, and Waste Management, and then some company shares that I have. This Amex Personal is only $2.08. I really expect this to go up close to around $50 next month, and that's just the movement of some funds from my individual brokerage account to my Amex Personal Savings account. That gets me to about $908 for this particular month. And then if you actually go into how much I made in YouTube, I made about $96. So that inclusive of what I made in just regular dividends puts me just over $1,000, which is phenomenal. I'm really excited about that. But with the current look that it's looking like, with respect to where my dividends are at, and it's almost May, I'm only looking at about $7,400 for the year, $7,500 for the year, which is, about $1,000 less than I'm aiming for. So I'm aiming for about $8,525 in terms of total dividend income for the year, not including YouTube income. Now, if you include the YouTube income, I'm getting very close to this $8,525, but I'm 18% at the moment off of my goal for the year, and this is obviously forecasting out. For the remainder of the year. So there's either going to have to be some massive investments, whether I take that, $30,000 or so that I have in cash and invest it in something that pays monthly, or I just wait. I don't necessarily know what I'm going to do yet, but still can't scoff at about $7,500 a month. I mean, I don't know what that is in terms of, or $7,500 for the year. Don't know what that is in terms of what you get for the month, but $623. Oh yeah, I have it calculated right here. So even still, over last year, it's $152 increase per month. Last year I made about $471. This year I'm at about $623. So looking pretty good. I wish that this green bar would get to this $8,500, but can't scoff. There's a lot of time left in the year, and we'll see where we get to. In terms of next year or next month's dividends, I'm expecting Icon Enterprise, Bank of Nova Scotia, Starwood Property Trust, Main Street Capital again. And this Main Street Capital is one that I'm thinking that I might. Ooh, I found a mistake. Ooh, 2 mistakes. Oh, no, it's not. Oh, well, I can change this because I know Main Street Capital is raising this in April, and also for May. But I can go and do that later, but that'll help a little bit. But I need to figure out my path forward associated with where all this cash is going to go. I've also contemplated whether or not I buy real estate, or my other buddy is getting into potentially gas stations. So I don't necessarily know what exactly I want to do with this cash that I'm sitting on. I might just keep it and wait for a downturn in the market. Because at the moment, if you guys I didn't really specify this, but current yield for the portfolio is about 4% a year. This is once again just based off of this 186,000. Does not include my 401k, and that yield on cost is about 4.4%. So far so good. Definitely can't complain with where I'm at. Made really good progress. You can see this big cash movement that I did here. So you see a big drop right in the middle of March there. But yeah, not really sure. So I'd love to hear anybody's comments and suggestions about what I should do going forward. If they've seen any good stocks that they think they might want to invest in, I'll do my due diligence, of course. I'm not going to rely solely on you. No offense to you, but many people in the office talk about stocks, and I'm like, oh, I don't know if that's a good one. But anyway, hopefully that was a good update. Really appreciate all the support that everyone's giving me. I just put another $100 or so into my YouTube Moolah account, so that account is up to about $1,400. So we'll talk about that in another video. But things are looking really good on that one. So over $20 a year, maybe even close to $30 a year, just coming from that account. So that's all because of you guys and the support that you guys show me. So I'll obviously do an update on that. But otherwise, I will talk to you guys in another video. Have a great weekend. It's already Saturday, so have a great Sunday. And I will talk to you guys soon. Take care. Bye-bye.
I brought you something close to me and left with